Hey everybody, welcome to week one. I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what to expect this week. Like I said last week, we have a lot of area to cover and not a lot of time, so there is going to be a lot of information in each module week. So this week is kind of like a basic introduction to InDesign. For anybody that hasn't used InDesign, it's once you kind of navigate Photoshop and Illustrator, it's a little bit easier to navigate InDesign because the layout is somewhat similar. The toolbar, the layers. The only exception with InDesign is that it is a page layout program. So it's awesome for magazines, brochures, newsletters, anything that's going to be printed with multiple pages. Also business cards, things like that. So I wanted you guys to kind of get comfortable working with it because in the print and publishing industry, InDesign is kind of a standard that they use. And I think it's pretty awesome. You can do a lot of cool things in InDesign. So this is just kind of an introduction. There is a lecture video. It's kind of an introduction to InDesign. It's not too long. So just make sure you're taking notes or, keeping track of what's going on because that information will be on a quiz. See, for your weekly assignment, you will be creating your own business card in InDesign. So I want you to kind of take this as an opportunity to, advertise yourself. So if you want to go into the graphic design field, make a business card for yourself as a graphic designer. If you want to do gaming or, any other field, you can use this opportunity to create a business card for yourself for that. Because at the end you'll be able to print it, you'll be able to send it to a printer and they can print it for you. So kind of use this as an opportunity to promote yourself and, your business if you want to do freelance work. So you will be, working in InDesign, using margins, using bleeds. I put in the assignment, step by step how to set up the document and how to save it as an Adobe PDF print document with the crops. So all that information is in there. If you have questions along the way, like I said, please reach out to me and I will do everything I can to help you. We can even set up a Zoom and figure out what's going on. But this week, I really want you to kind of figure out navigating InDesign, how to use the layout, how to use pages, all that kind of stuff. So that's our goal this week, is to get comfortable in InDesign, because for your major project this week, you'll be researching the images that you're going to want to use within your newsletter. And then I want you to start your basic layout in InDesign. So you have to create, text boxes and image boxes to place the images in there or to place the text on there. So I want you to kind of go from your thumbnails and your mock-up sketch and then create it in InDesign, right? So this is just a basic layout, even if it's just boxes so you know where things are. If you want to start putting a background in there, you can do that too. But this week I want you to kind of just utilize margins. There's different grids you can use, which are awesome. I'm going to try to go into that a little bit further next week because it's super helpful in kind of placing things using the grids. But I want you to, figure out how to use the text boxes, figure out how to use the image placement, because it's not like Photoshop where you just kind of plop the image in there. You have to create a box and then put the image in, but it's not the actual image, it's a link. So when you're saving your images, this is very important. When you're saving your images, you're going to be researching. Make sure you save them all into one folder. So try to keep all of your work very organized when you're saving it so that it's easier for you to find. Also, when we're saving it at the end, you have to package your whole design in a packaged file to send to a printer. It packages all the links for the images. So if they're all in one place, it's just easier and less confusing for everybody. So make sure that when you're saving things, create a file folder that says, major project newsletter. And then when you go into that folder, you can have a file folder for images, and then usually have a file folder that says working, which is all my InDesign files with all the different versions that you're going to have, because you're going to want to switch things and change things. And then, you know, there'll be another file folder that says proof, so you can save everything down. When you send it to me, we can kind of go back and forth and say, maybe you should change this or maybe you should change that, and we will have discussions within the group, kind of like group critiques before we submit your final, so you can get feedback from other students as well instead of just me. And then you'll have a file folder that says print, so that will be your final. But that way it's not confusing, you know where everything is. If you're downloading different fonts, you can keep them in there too. So just try to keep everything in one file folder. Let's see. I think that's mostly what you're going to be working on this week. Your discussion this week is in kind of like a basic color theory, just to kind of help you when you're choosing colors and color palettes for things. I just like to throw that in there so it kind of resonates and you're thinking about it when you're designing things instead of just haphazardly putting random colors in. And then there's also a video on Pantone colors, which is really important for printing. If you're printing, you know, a logo and it needs to be the same exact color every time you print it, you want to make sure you use a Pantone color, because it's a color system that makes sure that all of the colors are printed at the same hue, color, saturation, all that stuff. So it's pretty interesting in the printing industry, how they go about getting the same colors and all that fun stuff. So Pantone colors ensure that you'll get the same color. Color theory, and then, you know, your major project, your weekly assignment, and then your InDesign lecture introduction video. So all of the videos that you guys watch, any of that information can be put on a quiz. So just keep that in mind when you're watching things, if you want to jot down notes or, you know, however you want to do it. Make a little sheet in InDesign and type down all your notes. You can do whatever you want. So that's kind of an overview of what we'll be doing this week. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I think everybody kind of got the flow of what we were doing last week and submitted everything on time, so I'm not concerned. I know you guys are doing really well, so just keep up the good work, and yeah, reach out if you need anything from me. Okay, I will chat with you soon. All right, bye.